that you guys are all having a beautiful day, night, wherever you guys may be in the world, and I hope that you guys are taking care of your energy as such. Right now, currently, I'm here about to do a quick tarot reading for the general collective. This is going to be for anybody who comes by. It's a general reading. Mind you, will not resonate with everybody, so take what does and leave the rest. When I refer to divine masculine, divine feminine energy, I'm not referring to genders, I'm just referring to energy. It is fluid. Okay, and also for the fact when I call out some astrology signs, it doesn't have to be within your chart, it's just overall the energy that I'm pulling. Okay, so right now I have not shuffled these decks since the last time I've used them, which was yesterday. It was a weird energy that I felt yesterday, so I don't know. Let's see if the energy, it hasn't really changed much. As like, actually I feel like there's a lot of breakthroughs. Like I feel like somebody or a certain collective is about to go or hit through a breakthrough right now within their spiritual journey. And what I mean by that, when I refer to breakthroughs, it means like coming to a conclusion or finding clarity in the matter, or either closing out a certain cycle that you've been repeating for possibly quite some time. So right now, that can kind of contribute to the 1010 energy that we've been feeling, as well as 1001. Okay, I've also been seeing 43, 34 a lot, like mirror numbers, and that is also my birth date, as well as seeing 1111, because right before I was about to record this, that was the last synchronicity that I just seen. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and use my phone, because I wrote out before I even start this reading. Let me go ahead and find my notes for the synchronicities I've been seeing. Okay, so signs and synchronicities that I've been receiving from Spirit, okay, things that typically that Spirit likes to repeat over and over again, as in messages from the universe, etc., and to let us know that they're there, or like to find a little bit more in depth, like do more research about it. So if you feel guided to and you're seeing a certain combination of numbers or a certain repetitive type of sign that keeps showing to you, like a certain smell that you're getting, a certain sign like you keep seeing feathers or whatever, you know, please look that up, because that could also be a secret, like hidden message in there for you. Okay, I always tell people, don't go by what you always hear from others. Make sure that you can come to your own conclusion, make your own conclusion, make up your own opinion. Okay, because it's great to, you know, it's great to follow and to gather insight from others, but also it's important to form your own opinion, your own conclusion, you know what I mean? So Midnight Sun, I've been getting a lot of Midnight Sun. This ties into the Twilight series. So I did mention of Breaking Dawn being the last one that I was talking about how it's always the darkest before dawn. It's kind of like that 11:59 period, like right before it's about to turn 12 a.m. or whatever. It's just a figurative, right? So it's like getting through that last, like, 10 of Swords moment. Like I said, if you've been seeing 10-10, it's like that 10 of Cups, 10 of Swords type of thing. So it's also 11:22 on the clock, by the way, here. So, but Midnight Sun is actually a continuation of the Twilight Saga series. So I didn't realize that, but I did a little bit more research. So Midnight Sun has been coming out, and that kind of reminds me a little bit of, like I said, the midnight hour, which is 11:59. So we're kind of going through that period right now where Spirit is throwing so many tests, like tower moments in a way. It's not to punish you, it's not out of punishment, it's just to make you aware of where you're at and where you need to heal in a way. So it's kind of like, it's to make awareness for you, because I don't believe that Spirit gives us tests just to give us A, B, C's, and F's and stuff like that. It doesn't work like that in the spirit world. They just give us like certain tests to know where we're at. It's like that notion of when you're about to start class and then your teacher automatically gives you a random pop quiz at the very beginning, like the first day of school, and he or she is saying, don't freak out, I just want to know where you're at currently. It's not to give you a grade, it's just to see what I'm working with, you know what I mean? So Spirit is just making it known that if you guys are experiencing a lot of tower moments, a lot of Scorpio energy, a lot of endings, it's just making way and making room for the new to come in. Okay, so don't fight that, let it go, okay, and let it flow is what Spirit is saying. I did make mention of the peacock within a previous video, which represents the divine masculine energy, like coming into integration with one another. So right now, divine masculine, divine feminine are kind of like learning to balance out and recognizing that you need both to work on both in order to create harmony. So it's important not to neglect one over the other, okay? So, and that takes a lot of forgiveness on both ends, okay? And it's not easy, but it is possible. I've been receiving a lot of waterfall, rivers, or oceans, so I did make mention that if you are Starseed, you have ties to Atlantis or Lemuria or Mintanka or that type of matter. That could be why, but also for the fact that Mars, I did make mention, is in Pisces, as well as like there's a lot of water energy going on, so it's all that drowning in emotions and like being one with your emotions. I did make mention of that, so if you're not used to that, if you're not used to being vulnerable, you're not used to like having a opened heart chakra in a way, just I did make mention that, you know, the heart chakra, which is funny because I was guided to wear green today, and I also drew a heart on my cheek right here. So being open, you know, recognizing that like this right here, people who have closed off heart chakras and stuff like that are becoming are being forced to melt in a way, like I said, it's spirits poking holes or stabbing you through the heart in order to create light to shine through in a way. So it's to create pretty much a nice, vulnerable, working heart chakra, okay? Because when we have a closed off heart chakra, we have a hard time manifesting what it is that we want within our life, because we create a lot from the heart, okay? Even though our creativity kind of centers within the sacral chakra, right? But also from the heart is very important, because it's also shared between you and the masculine, divine feminine and divine masculine. You guys share chakras, right? I did make mention that divine feminine rules the higher, which is the crown, the third, and the throat, and then the lower regions, which is the masculine, which is solar plexus, sacral, and the root. But you guys really share the heart entirely, so it's very important to keep that clean and open and vulnerable. And coming from like someone who has been hurt from the past previously, because I'm going to be vulnerable here, right? Spirit's asking me to be a little bit more vulnerable about my past regarding certain things that happened, and why I am the way that I am. And, you know, I love psychology, and finding out why people tick the way that they do is just a certain part of me that likes to learn about humanity in that way. But it really does stem from the childhood wounds that we are carrying, and it does stem from, you know, your parents, and pretty much not even parents, but your parental figure, whoever it was that was in your life that was supposed to be a parental figure. There's just right now a lot of childhood wounds, I didn't mention, are coming back. Oh, there's a butterfly right next to me. Oh my goodness, hi. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, so butterflies, again, it represents the transformation as well as the phoenix, okay, so I'll tie into that. But your childhood wounds are coming back up to the surface, as well as Mercury retrograde is right around the corner, so that I'm oh my goodness, so that means people, places, and things coming back from the past, right? So instead of fighting it, instead of like going into autopilot mode, and just because typically we do deal with autopilot, we just kind of act without thinking right now. So Spirit is asking us to be a little bit more aware of our actions and how that affects others and things in general, because it ties into that butterfly effect that Spirit was saying. That's why they show the butterfly, which is your actions will have consequences, okay? So right now, Spirit is saying that, you know, it wasn't your fault at one point, because at childhood you didn't know any better, you were innocent in that matter, okay? So but right now, at this current point, you are responsible for your healing. You are responsible for taking that steps needed in order, or the actions needed in order to help change whatever it is that you're going through. Because really what happens is that when we're stuck in a cycle, in a karmic cycle, Spirit says that it's important that, yeah, it's great to ruminate and think about it, but in order to change the cycle, action is needed. So meaning you need to change the actual routine of how you did something. So say for instance, a childhood wound would be um, abandonment, right? A lot of people have abandonment issues, right? Is if a parent left early on within their life, or, you know, abandonment as in a parent was neglectful, didn't really show as much unconditional love, only showed conditional love only when they did something good, or like if they, say for instance, they did good work at school, then they would be rewarded, that type of thing. But they would not be rewarded with love any other time. So that really shows a kid or a child that, you know, I'm not worthy enough unless unless I'm doing something with my life that is perfect in someone else's eyes. So it's like seeking that approval in a way, but it also stems into codependency, which is that fear of abandonment, fear of someone leaving you behind or not loving you for you because of like you being yourself. So it's like that fear type of thing. So those types of things are coming up right now to the surface to be addressed, because you have to realize that those instances, especially when you were a child, were out of your control, okay? And the most important thing is that we must learn to forgive those who have hurt us. And I know that it's hard, and I always tell people that you forgive when you're ready. Don't allow anybody else to tell you to forgive or let go unless you're truly ready to do so, because that is a boundary for yourself, okay? But it also doesn't serve you to hold on to that anger or resentment or grudges or any type of pain that was associated with that trauma, okay? Sometimes people think that, oh, I had such a great childhood, I didn't really have much happen to me. Well, the thing is that it doesn't have to be within childhood. It could be experiences that happen without outside of the family dynamics. Could have been like sexual assault, like any type of sexual trauma. Those types of things are coming up to the surface. Let's keep it real now. A lot of sexual trauma is coming up to be addressed. Inner core wounds, rejection, as well as self-limiting beliefs. People who deal with anxiety right now, what I'm dealing with is anxiety coming back up to the surface, because it's something that I really deal with on a constant basis, and it's something that I really want to. I struggle with also perfectionism. That is another thing of feeling like you have to do things perfectly or a set way. But Spirit's not asking you to be perfect in any type of way. They just want you to be authentic, okay? But I'm just letting you guys know that just as any other spiritual person who is like going on their journey, we're not all perfect. We're all at different parts of the journey, and we're all learning something different. I say we're all ignorant to something, okay? And it's important not to compare your traumas or your experiences to other people, because you're not going to gain much there, okay? I'm gonna let you guys know real quick that the comparison game of why I always talk about comparison is because I find that this society, we tend to compare a lot, especially when it comes to social media. And I want to remind you guys that social media is a two-dimensional type of thing. So it means that it is lower than the 3D. It means that anything that's on social media, typically, not everything, but most things are a complete deception or a lie. Okay, it's only 2D. 3D is like, they already have illusions, but 2D is like beneath that. So can you imagine the amount of lies and deception that we deal with on a daily basis with social media? So we have to take that to account, to not always believe everything that you see or hear or whatever, like on the social media, but also stay aware, use it to your benefit. Don't use it for the right reasons, okay? So but what I'm saying right now is that with the comparison thing, it's like that notion of you guys all are handed different tests, different exams from a teacher. You guys all have different answers, yet you're trying to copy one another. And it makes no sense, because you're not going to get the same answers. You're not going to get the same, it's not even the same questions, right? So it just makes sense to focus more on your test, your exam, yours things right now. So Spirit's asking, instead of worrying about what others are doing, worry about yourself. Worry about what you can do to help improve your life, okay? So I don't know why they wanted me to channel so much like right now. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and use this Lenormand deck by Cairo Machete. But yeah, they really wanted to emphasize that it's time to let go some of those old paradigms, those old cycles right now, and it's recognizing, and the first step to actually change is to recognize that there is something to change. Now, if you're in denial about something that you need to go within about, then that means you need to take a step back, and you need to like reassess and reevaluate your priorities right now in life, okay? What is truly important? And guess what? This came out right here, number 34, and I did make mention I've been seeing the numbers 43 and 34, which is my birthday number. And the fish right here represents that koi fish energy, the 777 energy, that which is really great because it means wealth, abundance, and prosperity, as well as a lucky number. Okay, but this also represents the divine masculine energy, which is Mars, is in Pisces. So we're feeling a lot of that fish-like water energy, drowning in our emotions, etc. So this is very important right now. It's important to feel it, to heal it. You will hear that term a lot. Yeah, but oh my goodness, tying into the spiral. I did make mention of the spiral earlier, so I'm gonna keep going with these, right? So this was on the rhino's head, which came out in the animal spirit deck the other day, and I went ahead and went on my Instagram to figure out what the spiral meant, and I really wanted to share with you guys, because I kind of want to go really like in depth. Okay, so the spiral right here, I did make mention, it's on my Instagram. Go ahead and with my link below in the description box if you guys want to check that out. One of our most ancient and enduring symbols. It represents the winding journeys we must take inward if we are to truly know and love ourselves. From these never-ending journeys, we return with infinitely more power and wisdom. And that's great because I just said you need to take the time to go within. It's the journey to go within, to finding yourself, to finding oneself, which is pretty much coming home to yourself, you know? It doesn't even have to be coming home to a counterpart for the twin flames. It's realizing that you are home. You're coming home to your own self. So it's comforting knowing that, okay? Because it kind of ties into the heart chakras, like knowing that, you know, home is where the heart is. Oh my goodness, yes. Number 32, which is the moon card. So there's a lot of hidden things that are going on behind the scenes that you may not know of, because moon is all about the illusions, right? And also Pisces is all about what? Illusions, and not falling for them. So right now people are going into that Eight of Swords mode and perceiving that one thing, but really it's another, okay? And I can tie into this because I know that I'm perceiving something to be one way, but I know for a fact there's always you know, my story, their story, and the actual truth of the matter, which is why I keep referencing the 4D. If you guys have been seeing 444, 404, or just fours in general, it is a masculine number, but it also represents stability as well as, you know, home, okay? But it also, for me, like with the moon, this is the divine feminine energy coming through, right? And the divine feminine energy, Venus, she's in retrograde and she's in Gemini, so she'll be in there for quite some time until August. But this also ties into the lunar cycles, because I did make mention of the full moon, the strawberry moon, next month on June 5th in Sagittarius, okay? As well as the solar eclipses, right? And I did make mention of midnight sun right over here, how all of this kind of like the lunar cycles, you see the different phases of the moon. And it's so funny because earlier I was drawing a crescent moon on my third eye right here, but I decided to wipe it off and draw a heart right here on my side. So I was like trying to feel myself, trying to feel like I'm Sailor Moon and everything. But if you are tying to Sailor Moon, that also kind of ties into the journey as well. But okay, so another thing is that, you know, I've been making mention of dice, right? Taking the chance to roll the dice, all right, to play. And this kind of ties into my 777 energy, right? You need to at least take the action to roll the dice in order to play, in order to get that chance to win, right? But one thing for sure that's been popping out is the snake eyes. And I did make mention of the snake coming out quite often. Oop, there's a bee. So the thing is the chances of rolling a snake eye, I think, is 1 in 30. And this is a snake eye, right? So this kind of depicts two eyes that look like a snake, as well as people gave it a very negative connotation when it comes to gambling and such. But for me, I feel like that's a lucky sign if you were to roll a snake eyes, right? So it's like that also 1-1 energy, which is that brand new beginning. So it's like again, snake revolving the kundalini awakening, as well as the chakras being affected right now. Like I said, the heart chakra is being affected right now, okay? So right now we have the the crow and the fry synchronicity. So Spirit is trying to let me know about the crow synchronicity right now, which is like with that 7-7 energy. Okay, so when we hit the lotto, right, we feel very happy, right? And we place so much importance and value on a lot of piece of papers in this world, like especially when it comes to money or titles or degrees. It doesn't matter, right? We just, I don't know why us humans we do that, why we put so much emphasis on a piece of paper, but that's just whatever. But the thing is like, it's your perspective of it, right? It's the fact that since we hold it of so much importance, then it makes it important, right? So say for instance, if you were to pick up $10 on the ground, you would feel like you hit the lotto, right? But someone would think that, ugh, that's just loose change, because it's their perspective, right? But with the crow, if you were to give a crow like a fry, they feel like they just hit the 777 jackpot. Okay, but to us, it seems like just a measly fry. Like, it's just a fry, right? But to a crow, it's like the world. Okay, so it's that type of thing. It's like, what are you giving value to? And it's also your perspective of it all, right? And for me, like, it's like, I appreciate those people who find happy and peace with just the littlest things. And Spirit saying sometimes it's the littlest things that matter, that feels like the jackpot. Sometimes it's spending time with your loved ones that can feel like you hitting the jackpot. That, for me, that is like you being able to, I don't know, do something that you love passionately, you taking that risk, that's like hitting the jackpot. It just depends on your perspective of it all. It doesn't always have to be about money, wealth, or like, in that type of form. It can be in many other ways. It can be like you can feel like $1,000,000 just having love in your life. Okay, and so that's why Spirit is saying, like, what are you giving emphasis to? All right, so okay, and then I've also been seeing a lot of swings, like going to a park, like swinging. So swinging synchronicities, meaning to be free, like wanting to fly, but not having the wings yet to do so. But I remember as a kid, swinging was like my favorite thing. And if anybody knows me, that I am, it's like simple things. Like for me, I don't really like going out on dates where it's like fancy and it's wine and all of that crap. I really like going to places like parks that has swings, like things that can connect you with your inner child, going to arcades, going to do something fun, that type of thing. But that doesn't mean that going on dates and wine and all that being dined out is bad or anything. That's joyful as well, right? It's just, what do you prefer? And I feel like it's the simple of things like that ties into the childhood synchronicities, like being in touch with your childhood. Like, children, they don't overcomplicate things. They really don't. It's us as adults, and when we're programmed over time, we tend to overthink everything. And sometimes Spirit's asking us to get back into that childlike mentality, because sometimes we'll find a lot of the answers that we're looking for within that. And a lot of the times, we're out of balance and out of whack because of the fact that we're not in touch with our child self. We're not listening to it. We're not listening to what he or she is trying to tell us and what it wants, So the more that you neglect that child, the more that you're just only neglecting yourself, okay? And that goes both physically, mentally, spiritually, it does not matter. So, okay, what popped out, oh my gosh, I love this. Number 4, which is the house, yes. So this was, I rolled a 4 yesterday with the dice, and we did get the house charm, right here. This is the house charm. So, emphasis on this right here, saying that it's important to get your house in order, also to find stability, working on creating those 4 pillars, working on those foundations, making sure that your foundation is stable enough for anything to be built on, because that is the most important thing. So say for instance, for relationships, a relationship typically will last longer if you guys are friends first. Does that make sense? So that notion of like being friend zoned is something that old paradigm that needs to be thrown the hell out, because you know how some people feel really offended and hurt because of being friend zoned, because I've been that way. I've been in the same way, but it's more of a rejection type of thing. It's something that you got to heal within yourself. But there's nothing wrong with starting out being friends and building off from that, because this is just for example. If you guys start off as really great friends, then think about it. You will be a very great boyfriend. If that person is a great friend to you, they shall be a great partner to you. Now, if that person is not first and foremost a great friend to you, then what makes you think that they're going to be a great husband, a great wife, a great sister, a great brother? What makes you think that they're going to be a great relationship, anything? There's no foundation to fall off on, right? So it's like, take your time, make sure this takes patience. And the thing is, it's like, take it from me, because I'm the type where I have a lot of fire within my chart. And because of that, of my codependency reasons from, because divine feminines, we deal with codependency, release some of that control, okay? And the thing is that when what things are meant for you, they really are meant for you, and they shall come to you. It's like that notion of a butterfly. The more that you chase a butterfly, the more that it will fly away from you, or any animal, anything. But the more that you just stay still and just allow for it to come to you, right? I'm talking to the divine feminine energy, learning to receive, okay? But also knowing when to take action, okay? Knowing when to move is a very important thing. So that ties into pretty much like, let's go back to the swings. So the swings is like being able to release and let go, just to have fun, okay? And also for the fact that it's you don't have to let go of your childhood. The old paradigm is thinking that, oh, I must act like an adult, I must think like an adult, so I must get rid of my childhood self. Because when we do that, like I said, we're only neglecting ourselves. So you need that part of you. It's part of you. The experiences that you hold, the hurt, the trauma that you hold, it sucks, but it's a part of you, and it's what makes you you. And it's what you take from those experiences, those lessons, is all on you and what you want to do with it, right? If you want to share it with others, I really encourage people to share your story, like share it with others, But if not, then at least turn it into something like creative, right? Turn that pain into something that, and you enjoy. If you like cooking, get into cooking more. If you like gardening, go out and garden more. If you want to work out, don't. My trick is like, especially if you deal with depression or anxiety, sometimes we overthink it, and sometimes we don't even have the energy or the motivation to really get things started, right? But the one thing that I find that really helps is that instead of questioning it, if it pops up in your mind, like say for instance, I would like to go on a jog today. Don't do anything after that. Just get up, get dressed, put your shoes on, and go on that jog. I know it's going to be really rough, but the minute you start questioning yourselves, those other thoughts, your ego starts coming in saying, but maybe I shouldn't go on a jog, but maybe it's not the right time. What if I run into this? What if? Okay, then that's when the ego starts coming in. That's how it keeps you trapped, is because you're listening to that other voice. Now it's time to tune out the distractions, learn to be more in touch with the silence, learning to love and enjoy the silence, because the silence is just as loud as if you were to scream and shout. So it's also knowing when to stay silent and knowing when to yell, project out your voice, okay? Knowing when to use it, knowing how to use it properly in a healthy manner, not to destroy, but also knowing that to destroy old foundations is quite necessary, right? But you don't want to destroy people's self-confidence or their spirit, right? No, but you want to destroy the right things that are not working, okay? So it's like knowing to choose your battles wisely. So number 26, which is reduces to 8, infinite wisdom as well as locked knowledge. This ties into the key and lock synchronicity. Also Akashic records, tapping into that inner consciousness, which is with this moon card, tapping into your intuition, using that, and also helping using that to help you navigate through life, okay? As well as hidden things that are like literally beyond the surface, okay? Whether that be gifts or abundance, I feel like it is a gift or abundance, because like I said, the darker experiences that spirit gives us is a gift in disguise, okay? So also, if you're seeing pink tulips or anything pink as far as that goes, I did talk about pink flowers the other day, it means also unconditional love, as well as spirit saying to lift your spirits up. You are loved. You are the body, you are the essence of love, okay? And also for the fact that number 9 is a divine feminine number, okay? If you switch it up, 6 is the representation of the divine masculine, but 9 representing divine feminine. I'm also seeing a letter is tied to this, so I see that there is a message coming through, a hidden message that is coming through right now, whether that be in a form of finances, love, whether that be a form of family, friendship, it does not matter. Something is coming through that is a hidden gift that you're possibly not seeing, because why? It's hidden. So it's important to not fall for the illusion, okay? Feel it to heal it. So once Spirit saying it's also learning to take accountability for your actions is that's the second step. Once you're out of the in denial stage and recognizing that there is things within you that you need to heal, it also is another way of saying, like, once you get rid of the in denial, now it's time. What are you going to do to change it? Oh my gosh, the dragonfly spirit, which is truth transcends illusion. So yes, You guys are seeing dragonflies. This also ties into the Fae, which is if you guys are seeing a bunch of wings synchronicities, that's great. Okay, so I'm actually gonna, let me see. I'm going to use this Whispers of Love Oracle, Josephine Wall. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit longer video, but that's alright, guys. And if you guys are still here and you're staying with me, then hello, kudos. How are you guys all doing? I hope you guys are staying safe, and I hope that you guys are really taking care of yourselves. I really do, and being kind to yourselves, because this time period is very crucial for our transformation process, and it's really important to just be patient with it, okay? Don't rush the process. Knowing my ass, I like to rush everything, but that's pretty much the biggest lesson in life that a lot of divine feminists have to learn, that we all can learn, is patience. So you're gonna hear a lot of temperance and patience, like that's a big sign. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So number 11, look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. Ooh, I love this. So if you guys are seeing 1111, that also ties into the awakening process that's happening right now, and also recognizing that you are stronger than you guys give yourself credit for. Remember, you guys are an infinite, multidimensional being that is living just a temporary human experience amongst many human experiences, especially if you are a starseed and you guys have lived many different lives, okay? So it's just letting you know. Also, I'm seeing that crown chakra as well as many different chakras being affected right now, currently, okay? 22. Oh my gosh, I did say that I seen the number 1122 earlier, so the heart of the matter. There is more going on than meets the eye. Yes. Remember when I said earlier that with the moon card, also if you're saying 222, that also ties into that, as well as the need for balance. But it also means, like, yes, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. So it's important to just have faith in the matter and to have patience that everything will work out in your best benefit. And also it's important to, like, tell yourself that, you know, sometimes with your affirmation saying that I am confident that everything shall work out in the best way possible for myself and everyone included, you know, because it's also, for me, I like to wish for not only myself, but I wish for others as well, for the best outcome of others. So it's like certain things like that, right? So Spirit saying also get into affirmations. It's very important. Say your affirmations. Number 25, romance. Lavish the one you love with personal attention and affection. Oh my gosh, love this. And if you have Atlantis ties, this is coming through. If you guys are connected to mermaids or sirens, etc., this also ties into Mars being underwater, into Pisces. So they're getting in touch with their emotions, as well as possibly within the 5D right now, you guys, or in the 3D, you guys are showing more romance to each other, spending more time with one another, you know, because you know, this journey, especially for the twin flame journey, can be romantic if you make it so, okay? And the 25 is possibly an important number. It also reduces to a 7. Okay, forgiveness. Oh yes, number 29. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. Yes. So emphasis on what I was talking about. Forgiveness is very important on this journey, and it's up to you, okay? But it's, you know, healing takes a process. It's a process. It took for you a lot of years worth of shit to get you to a certain point. Now, I'm not going to discourage you, but sometimes it's going to take the same amount of time to get back there. Or it's going to be, because the thing is that with the healing process, you're not going back to your older self. You are changing to the person that you always were on the inside, and it's just coming back out. You're just becoming more one with it. You know, you're removing the mask. So forgiveness is more for yourself and not the other person, okay? Spirit saying we don't care about the other person right now. What we care about is if you focus on you, and if you're going to forgive yourself for you, because if you don't, if you hold on to that pain, it's going to manifest itself into actual physical pain, which is illness. Okay, and a lot of the times, a lot of people who do get sick a lot, quite often, is because they're holding on to mental, emotional pain that they don't know how to transmute into other things. Okay, so it's important, like if you're going to transmute it to like exercising or more physical movement, right? So also 29 reduces to 11. So again, emphasis, if you're seeing the numbers 11, 11, that is for the twin flames right now. This is for you guys. It's important to start forgiving yourself first. Start with you, okay? And that shall reflect outside, okay, eventually. Love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. Number 16, again, a number 7. If you guys are seeing the number 777, 707, or 717, that also represents the twins coming together in physical union, as well as abundance, prosperity, as well as the spiritual awakening process. And I did say in previous videos, if you guys are seeing the numbers 7 or 11 or 711 combo, it's very important. Also recognizing that yes, you are love. And you see this, she's wearing a blue dress, and it's so funny. If you guys see my previous video, I talked about the importance of the blue dress and the many different colors of different dresses. Okay, so you are love, you are loved, and you deserve love. And if you don't feel like you don't deserve love, then that means that there's certain aspects within you that, honey, that you gotta address. All right, plain and simple. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, I'm saying this out of love, and the thing is like, I say some pretty harsh things. I can be quite Queen of Swordsy. I am a Libra moon. I have quite some air in my chart, but I mean well, and my intention is that I am tough love. I really am. But at the same time, I'm not going to sugarcoat the fact that you are responsible for your healing process, okay? It is solely up to you, not anyone else, okay? Spirit will hold your hand and help you and guide you through the journey, but you have to believe it so, okay? So, I'm going to pull just a little bit of charms, okay? Okay. Perfect. So what came out here is the starfish. So again, this ties into star seeds. You guys really like, also yellow, which is the solar plexus, as well as the greenish color is the heart chakra being affected right now. And why I say that is because again, the solar plexus ball came out. So this is like your core. The solar plexus right here is probably a very important one, because that is where a lot of your strength, your courage, your will to take action, and everything, even your self-worth and your value, is in your core. Okay, so when your solar plexus is off, I'm gonna go ahead and link some solar plexus high frequency music in the comments below, so go ahead and listen to that and meditate on that if you need to. But I feel like, that would help a lot with that as well. If you feel guided to do a chakra clearing, go ahead and contact or find someone who specializes in that, okay? And I feel like that goes for me too, because I really need to find someone that can do a great chakra clearing, so, as well as chakra alignment. So okay, and so this also ties into Atlantis as well, like my star seeds. This is my Neptune ball, so be careful not to fall for that 8 of Swords illusion and the Neptune illusions that are being thrown right now. And the illusions is what I mean by that is telling yourself that you're not worthy of love, and telling yourself that you don't deserve it because you were rejected from it in the past. And Spirit is letting you know that that is the illusion, and that is false. Okay, so be careful and mindful of what the false things that you're telling yourselves. Okay, this is the shoe. Okay, feet. I did talk about feet earlier in a different video, but this is taking movement forward. So this is a great sign. That means that you guys are taking steps forward, as well as seeing from different perspectives, like being able to walk in not only your shoes but other people's shoes, seeing it from different perspectives. Okay, as well as the butterfly. We did get a visitation from a butterfly earlier. I did make mention of what that means, as well as the Scorpio energy that we've been feeling, transformation and phoenixes. Okay, you will rise up from the ashes that you were buried in, okay? Just letting you know that every single time you will rise up even stronger, all right? And then we have the dog right here, which is great because the dog symbolizes loyalty and compassion, as well as companionship, okay? So also it represents like kind of like if you guys are seeing dogs or canine energy, that's the divine masculine energy coming through, saying that they're, learning about loyalty, all that jazz. And it kind of I don't know why, they're giving me Inuyasha, Kagome and Inuyasha. You guys know that classic anime? She's like, sit boy. It's like, I don't know. Anywho, but there's the ring again. The ring's coming out again. So if you guys are connecting with rings, wedding rings, engagement rings, it also represents promises, I guess. But as well as like taking your commitment to the next level. Somebody wants to take your relationship to the next level, whether that be you are friends. Again, you guys are building foundations right now. So if you guys are friends, wanting to take it to like being a partnership, taking that partnership to engagement, etc. So it's like these represent phases in life, as well as the circle of life, like what goes around comes around, okay? And everything is connected as well. So they're giving me that medicine wheel type of vibe, as well as the rose, the white rose, which represents the divine feminine energy. And I did make mention that the divine feminine has been making her appearance quite known lately, and so she's just making her comeback, saying that she's coming back and she's going to be heard and she's going to be listened to in a way. So she's taking her rightful place back, just as much as the divine masculine energy is, like how the divine masculine energy is connecting with the sword. I did talk about yesterday with, funny enough, with my father, because he is considered a DM, like all, for me, like there's, anyhow, I won't go into that, but Yasuke is a samurai, a black samurai, or African samurai is what we would say, and he was quite popular, and was probably used as a inspiration for the Afro Samurai series. So I did make mention that divine masculines are connecting to the sword, which is also the sword of truth, which is Archangel Michael coming through, okay, which is like this charm right here. If you're connecting to samurais or Freemasonries or knightlihoods, like connecting with knights, etc., you guys are connecting to past lives possibly as well. Okay, so it's just recognizing your power. They're both recognizing their power, and they're learning to balance and integrate both those powers within them, and realizing that, you know, to create harmony and balance in both. So it means that the twins are coming together. So if you are receiving communication or forward movement regarding this journey for my twin flames, congratulations, because that is a great sign. Also, the ring represents union, like physical inner and outer union, okay? So it's important to come into union with yourself first and foremost before you come into union with anyone else, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and roll this dice right here that I have here. Okay, let me. Ooh, okay. Oh, I got a double 3. So if you guys are seeing the numbers 333, that's Ascended Masters coming through, both Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, to help you guys along the journey, as well as fertility and manifestation, okay? So this is great, as well as like whatever you were manifesting is going to come into light, all right? And this also equals to a 6, which is that Divine Masculine energy as well. So I feel like a lot of balance is going to be restored for both Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine energies, okay? So that's really great, okay? So 333, 303, 313 is another synchronicity as well as 666, 606, and 616. Okay, so much love to you guys. Stay safe out there. I hope that this, you know, wasn't an overload, but I'm kind of laying the hammer down just a little bit more. If you've noticed over time, I started off quite gentle, and I'm starting to get a little bit more like you know, in a way. So much love to you guys. Be kind to yourselves. Don't blame yourselves, you know, and don't think that, you know, don't be worried about if you're doing things right or wrong, okay? It doesn't matter. It's just, what do you feel on the inside? Is your heart happy? If you're happy, then that's great, okay? If you feel like there's something wrong or something off within your heart, then there's something you need to address, boo-boo, okay? So I wish you the best, okay? And much love to you. Peace.